I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is It's About the Pasta of Vanderpump Season 5, Episode 7. We're getting into drama.
Yep.
But before we talk about it, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which also includes Winter House and Martha's Vineyard. And we have the show One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Vanderpasta. And join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I and sometimes Sarah talk about literally whatever the hell we want, which is mostly Taylor Swift. If you don't like Taylor Swift, don't listen. Also, you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. It was on the Patreon first. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, like we are right now, we'll do an after show so we can talk about Bravo news without giving spoilers away on the podcast. And also we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Lauren, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Isabella, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Jesse, Leanne, Rebecca, Rio, Robin, Sarah, Taylor, and Tiffany.
Woo!
I got tripped up in the middle. I'm so sorry. That's on me.
You're good.
That's okay. I'm not that sorry. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live seasons, we will ask for your questions, opinions, comments, concerns, whatever you want to talk about, we will read on the podcast. And also occasionally now I've decided I'm going to reach out and ask for what are you reading? What are you watching? Because I always need recs. So $5 a month patrons will be lucky enough to give us their recs, and we'll give you our recs, and we'll talk about it. It'll be so fun. What else? What else do I do? Oh, I pick a patron of the episode, which obviously I'm very underprepared for, but I think I'm gonna pick. I'm definitely gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Sarah because it was Sarah's idea to do a little book chat on the Patreon or the podcast. And I got back into reading, and Meredith's getting back into reading. And we always talk about on the pre-show, if you listen, what are you reading? What are you watching? Because it's our love language. Instead of asking how your husband is, which we don't have, this is our husbands. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
I love it. I'm really excited.
That's a good idea. Okay, do you want to jump right in? I did that speedy quick.
You did. Yes, I'm ready to jump in. I'm ready to talk about this episode.
Great. Okay, so previously on Vanderpump Rules, Scheana's not allowed to talk to Lala, so she has to be a bitch so she can get the Mean Girls approval. Katie says Lala has a married boyfriend. Stassi wants to do a birthday trip to Montauk, even though Scheana doesn't know where that is. We have Gay Pride almost got canceled because of what happened in Orlando, but Lisa pushed through and basically saved the gays. So now we're here.
We love.
So we open up at Sir. Ariana's here. She says hi to Lala, brings her a little flower. Brittany, Scheana, and Katie are folding napkins and stuffing the sugar and salt things.
Resetting everything. The restaurant life.
Brittany tells them the pride was good despite what happened. And Scheana's like, I just couldn't go celebrate, even though Natalie texted her and said, if Lisa's here, you should be here. But Lisa said, I didn't have to go. So Scheana didn't go.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lisa did say they didn't have to come in. So then to also get a text basically saying you were kind of supposed to. I feel like it's sometimes how like girls set guys up for failure. Like, yeah, you should just know.
I like the idea that Natalie was just like,
where the fuck are you?
Hey, Lisa's here. Why Lisa's more precious than you. Why aren't you here?
If Lisa's gonna sacrifice her life, you should sacrifice your life.
Lisa was like, oh, Nathalie, I wish people would have just fucking came. And Nathalie's like, no worries, I'm
on it.
Yeah. Okay, so then Katie asked Brittany what's going on with Ariana's birthday. And Brittany's like, we're going to this NASCAR race. And Lala's invited. Ew, so I'll have to deal with that.
Oh my God.
Come on. And Scheana's basically like, she didn't get an invite, but Ariana probably knows that she's already going to Stassi's birthday, so she can't even go to Ariana's.
It amazes me every time the way Scheana treats her quote unquote best friend Ariana, but then she's like kissing Katie, Stassi, Kristen's asses, who treat her like shit.
Also, if I was Scheana, right, and someone else invited me and I wanted to go, right? Like, let's say Stassi invites me and I want to go. I would have gone to Ariana and been like, hey, Stassi invited me for her birthday. I'm gonna go, but like, let's do something when I'm back.
Yes,
because
it's
she was waiting for an invite, even though Ariana
just so
knows
she can decline it.
Yeah, the answer is no.
It doesn't make sense. But Scheana's also butthurt that she's not being invited, even though she knows she's probably not being invited because she's busy.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
So Scheana and Kristen, then we find out, are planning a surprise party for Shay and Carter. And Shay thinks it's Carter's surprise party, and Carter thinks it's Shay's surprise party, but it's both of their surprise parties.
This is stupid. I don't need a surprise party ever, but if somebody's gonna throw me one, don't do it like this.
Don't surprise me, period. How about that? So Stassi's here. She says hi to Natalie. I guess they're still on good terms.
Seems like it.
Stassi loves her when she's a customer because she's ride or die for goat cheese balls. I've had the goat cheese balls. They're fine. But I think this was before goat cheese was like very big.
That's true. Goat cheese at this era was like
goat cheese. I was like, what's goat? I remember watching this and being like, ew, goat cheese balls.
I got into it when I first moved to the city.
Yeah, when I first moved like to Chicago, I was like, oh, goat cheese. Yeah. But this was like, we were still in college. I was like, what's a goat cheese?
I don't know. Especially because like when you see them, they're like fried little balls.
They're just like
just like yum.
Yeah. So Brittany goes to say hi to Stassi. We find out Stassi's doing a podcast called Straight Up with Stassi for women to feel like they're sitting around with their best girlfriends.
This made me think of you and I.
Actually, same.
And I was like, damn, Stassi was on the podcast game so early.
She was. I was honestly gonna I remember watching this for the first time and kind of shitting on Stassi and being like, of course she has a podcast, but now I have a podcast, so I'm an asshole.
Nowadays everyone has a podcast. She was like ahead of the reality TV stars getting podcasts.
I have to be honest, her podcast is not for me.
I've never listened to it, and now is it only on Patreon? Because it took a break there. This isn't really a spoiler, and it's back. She still does it nowadays, but
yeah, I talked about it. I saw her live podcast. It wasn't very good.
I also think that's different. A live show versus like her weekly podcast.
You know what though? If she ever when she has interesting guests on,
she spills the tea.
Yeah, that's fine.
She always will give information if she has it, and I really appreciate that about her.
Exactly. So Stassi wants reformed Jax to be on her podcast to tell us how dudes get away with cheating. But she's asking Brittany's permission first. And Brittany's like, so is it like you're gonna shit on Jax, or are you gonna show how I like changed him for the better? And Stassi's like, obviously the second one.
Which that's not the juicy part. No. Would you let your boyfriend do this if somebody asked you?
If I knew my boyfriend was a piece of shit, I'd be like, yeah.
I don't think I would.
Also, though, I'm a big believer. I would be like, you would have to ask him.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, I'd look at him and be like, do you actually want to do it?
I don't think this is a good idea. Like, I mean, but Jax loves being talked about whether it's bad or good.
I think that's it. I'd never date Jax. I'd never date someone who's
that's the thing.
It would be like this.
I don't think it's a good look for him, or like if this were my boyfriend, I wouldn't think it'd be a good look for him to do this, but it would be hard to listen to this. Like, I don't want to hear about how you get away with bad things.
Immediately, I wouldn't listen. Yeah. So Brittany's down. She basically says she doesn't want to dwell on the past with Jax, even though, girl, she's like, I heard he was quite a piece of work, and I was like, you should have watched the show.
Yeah, there's seasons.
You're dumb.
It. Honestly, you just have to watch season 1. That'll be the crash course.
Yeah, you're very dumb. Come on, just watch it. But she says the only thing Stassi's horrible ex-boyfriend and the man she loves has in common is the name. No.
There's a lot more.
I'm willing to put money that that's not the only thing.
Yeah.
How much? Any amount. I'm willing. Okay, then we cut to Ariana. She asked Scheana to grab Katie so they could talk about something in the back. And then we find out that Lisa told Ariana to get Katie, Scheana, and Lala together to talk.
This makes sense because this is becoming a work problem.
Yeah, it's becoming a work problem. Ariana's playing the middle really well. So Lisa's like, you should just do it. So we go to the back of Sir. Ariana, Scheana, and Katie are all sitting down, and Ariana says she knows there's conflict with Lala, and Lisa suggested getting everyone together to see if they're open to it. And I love that Ariana asked Katie and Scheana first.
I agree.
Before bringing Lala.
That's being a good friend.
Yeah. And Ariana says it's just to clear things up, and Katie's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then in her interview, she's like, fuck Ariana for doing this. What am I supposed to? And I was like, you just agreed.
That's the thing, is this pisses me off when somebody asks if it's okay, and you need to speak up if it's not. Don't complain after the fact.
You're like, yeah, it's totally fine. And then you're like, how dare Ariana think I'm going to give Lala a chance? If you're not going to give Lala a chance, don't agree to this.
Exactly.
So Lala joins them. Ariana's like, so how can we make things peaceful at work? Let's start with that. And Lala says that she did apologize to Scheana and she tried to have a conversation. And Sheena's like, I wasn't ready to have a conversation with you. And Ariana asks why. And Scheana says, because Lala's not in a very good space with Katie. And this is when Katie says, don't bring me into this. This is about you and Lala. Which was separate. We're separating it then.
Okay, that's that. Fine. I think that makes sense.
That makes sense. And because we did shit on Scheana to be like, oh, she just cares about Katie. So now here's Katie saying, Scheana, it's your own thing.
Take me out of it. But I think Katie is setting her up, that she's saying, oh, leave me out of it, but she doesn't want her opinions to change.
Yeah, she's setting Scheana up for failure.
Yes, she's kind of like trying to trap her.
So Lala says like her and Katie can't even look at each other, and Ariana's like, look, I know there's this rumor about a married man. And Katie says the rumor that she heard about Lala, and I lost it when she was talking about someone seeing Lala and this man having sex on the phone.
It's the wife. Like,
the wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's how the wife apparently caught like her husband cheating.
So Katie says she doesn't trust Lala, and Lala's like, yeah, because you don't want to. Lala says that she didn't want to talk about her ex-boyfriend, at the time boyfriend, because I'm assuming he didn't want to be on TV.
Yeah.
So she made it into an acting game, and everyone's like, or Katie's like, oh, so you were lying. So I was right.
It sounds like Lala's new story is that she never was dating somebody married. That story was a front to what her real relationship was, who is now her ex. Like the real relationship, like they did break up is what she's saying. And all this like information out there that they're mad at her about, none of it was real, just to protect, I'll say, the identity of who the real boyfriend was. And which, saying that everything was a lie is going to make you a target for these girls more.
Yeah.
Because they hate you because you lie.
Yeah.
But it was hard to follow, and it just is stupid. Like,
it was hard to follow. It was stupid. And truthfully, I still don't care.
I don't either.
I still don't care.
Especially because this conversation is about how to make work life easier. Like, I don't care how Katie feels about Lala lying about her relationship. It should just be like, listen, let's cut the bullshit at work. Let's stop talking about each other. This doesn't need to be a thing. Like, let's stay out of each other's lives, and especially not talk about each other here at work.
That specifically, when people can't like grow up and just like do work things, even if you don't like the person, that really bothers me. So I think that's why Katie's like driving me nuts, that she openly just like hates Lala, and it makes everyone else feel uncomfortable. Like, you're just, if you want to hate her in your personal life, fine, but like stop coming to work and like whispering in front of the patrons and being like, Lala fucks married men.
Can't do like an in between. Like, she's either friends with someone or hates someone, and she can't find this middle ground where she can just like live life next to someone.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying me.
It drove me nuts. So Lala says she already did apologize. She doesn't want to do it again. Katie says Lala's apology is worth nothing. So Lala's like, oh my God, Katie, what do you need me to do? Finger you to make you forget? And then Katie starts arguing. She's like, ew, you're disgusting.
The way, like, they always get so mad at Lala for like talking about being sex.
Crude,
bothers me so much, because if like Stassi was sitting there saying these types of things, they would have no problem with it.
Also, I didn't think it was, I mean, I don't think the fingering comment really made sense, but also it wasn't like offensive. Katie's like,
No.
oh, you're so crude and disgusting. I was like, I
Like,
don't
it's
care
not
that
for me.
much.
It's not how I'm gonna talk, but I
If
wouldn't
they
like
don't
lose it over this
if they
comment.
don't bleep it out on TV, it's not that bad.
Yeah, honestly.
So, yeah, so Katie and Lala are arguing. Scheana says that she's so team Katie, it hurts, but she does want everyone to just get along for Ariana's sake. And I think Sheena's very good at like, we're in a public place or we're working.
Yes.
Let's just like get along and you can hate me behind your back. So Sheena's basically, Scheana stops the arguing. She's like, okay, we're done. And
Yeah.
she looks at Lala and she goes, I'm done talking about you. And she apologizes for things that she might have said that aren't true, which isn't honestly a real apology. It's like,
No.
if you're not dating a married man, I apologize for that. But if you are, I'm not
Like,
apologizing
if
for
all
it.
these things aren't true, like you say, then sure, I apologize for saying something that could be false. It is the worst apology ever, but it smooths things over enough.
It smoothed it over enough because then it's kind of like it almost gives Lala the idea like Scheana doesn't care what I'm doing. So
Yes.
Sheena's just like, I apologize for anything I said that's not true.
And to be honest, I don't even think an apology was needed. Like, I don't think
No.
Lala needed an apology. I don't think Lala cares to fight at work.
No.
But it's hard to get the other party to stop like
Yeah.
baiting you and talking about you and making it uncomfortable.
But I also thought this was a good apology for like Katie because Sheena's not apologizing for
Yes, she's not
talking
bending
about
on
it.
anything.
She's just saying if something I said happened to not be true, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But like, so if Lala is fucking a married man, technically Sheena's
There's
not.
no apology. I thought the same thing.
But Katie's immediately like,
and then you could still
fuck?
like behind Lala's back, all in your own personal time, roll your eyes and be like, "Come on, we all know it's true."
Yeah, Sheena's just not going to talk shit at work and like sorry for anything she
Normal.
previously said. But Katie immediately is like, how dare Scheana?
But just in her mind,
apologize.
she doesn't say it out loud to Scheana and be like, "Wow, Scheana, I can't believe you're sitting here apologizing here."
In the interview, yeah.
There's nothing. Like, it bothers me so much when people want to roll up their emotions later and then be so mad at you when, like, why can't you just talk to me in the moment? Like, I understand if you don't know what your feelings are in the moment, but like when you figure out what your feelings are, why can't you just tell me like what your problem is?
It's because you need the permission of other people to feel a certain way.
From the mafia.
Yeah. Also, Katie said, leave me out of it. So she was like, with you out of it. Sorry if I said something that was not true.
Taking what Lala has said to you, which is horrible, out of it. Scheana has no beef.
Nuts. Yeah. Nuts. So we go back into Sir. Stassi wants more goat cheese balls, and Peter judges her. How rude. I would also eat 12
I would totally take those to go, especially because I bet Stassi is trying to not like pay for them. And so yeah, like I want all this free food.
Yes. So Lisa's here. Brittany says hi to her really quick. Lisa quizzes Brittany on the specials, and Brittany is really bad at it. So
oh my God, I can't imagine having to work at this restaurant.
Yeah, rough. But to change the topic, Brittany's like, hey, did you see Stassi's here? And immediately Lisa's like, fuck, what's she fucking doing here? And Brittany's like, oh, she came to ask if Jax can be on my podcast. And Lisa's immediately like, you should have said no.
I love when Lisa makes people feel like idiots. Like, well, and Lisa's you said like, yes to that.
Lisa's like, your boyfriend's absolute trash, and you're gonna go let him get reamed by his ex-girlfriend.
I mean, like, what is Brittany supposed to say to that? She just has to basically leave the conversation.
She's like, haha, Lisa, I'm gonna go learn the specials. Goodbye. So we go back to the back of Sir. Stassi joins Katie. Katie tells Stassi what happened. Katie starts venting about how sorry, she like, okay, so she's like describing it to Stassi. Yeah. And Katie's like, I just can't believe we had to do that. Like, sorry, I was talking shit about you or whatever. And Stassi's like, you didn't actually say sorry though, right? And Katie's like, no, obviously not. I'm just like venting. But Stassi's pissed. She's like, how could fucking she?
I can't believe she would say the words, I'm sorry. What do we have to be sorry over?
For what? For perpetuating rumors? Scheana's so desperate to be liked.
To me, that is not. Scheana is desperate to be liked in a lot of situations.
But not
this
in
is not one of them. This is not one of them.
Stassi texts Scheana. She's like, this is equivalent to one of the victims apologizing to Charles Manson. And I was
no,
like,
it's not.
Lala's literally never murdered anyone.
It's like if one of the victims of Charles Manson like went and defaced Charles Manson's like family member's property, they should also still apologize for their part in it.
Yeah, like the mother is just like, I didn't even know I raised a psychopath. What are you doing here?
Like,
yeah,
what Lala did to Katie has nothing to do with them talking shit about Lala's relationship. You can both be sorry for your part.
Also, Scheana's not like, I really like Lala now. She's just like, sorry if I hurt you, because
I'm gonna
Lala
stop
also
talking
apologized to Scheana. And we said leave Katie out of it.
Yep.
Which
Not
Katie
difficult.
happened to just leave out of her conversation with Stassi.
Well, because then it wouldn't explain like why we still need to be mad at Scheana.
Obviously, duh. Okay, so again, Scheana says she only apologized for what wasn't true, and Stassi's like, but we have sources that say it is true.
Them and their sources, they are like dying on this hill about sources.
Also, if it is true, then Scheana's not apologizing for it.
Yes.
Like the apology was so bad, and these girls are missing it totally. Scheana set it up perfectly. If these girls would just like look past their hatred of Scheana, this was the perfect way to play.
Here's the thing: no matter what Scheana says, she's in the wrong with them. Her looking, if she did not say any words and looked at Lala, they'd be like, "I can't believe she looked at her."
She didn't say anything. Fuck her, desperate.
Fuck her. She just wants to be liked.
But honestly, in the back of Sir, Katie's like not even that mad.
No,
like Katie, if anything, gets annoyed with
Stassi right here. Like she's not even that mad.
Yeah, she gets kind of mad at Stassi, and
yes, for like taking it the wrong way.
Yeah, so like she's not mad yet. Stassi's the one that's mad.
Yeah,
great.
But I think the girls in general in this little, I'm going to call it a foursome, never want to be on the wrong side, and so they're always trying to not be on the side that did the wrong thing. And so the minute Scheana is picked out as the person who did the wrong thing, Katie is now going to double down on Stassi's hate just to not get Stassi's hate.
Also, it proves Stassi is still the leader, no matter how hard she's defending Katie.
It's like a Ponzi scheme. Like, in order to not get Stassi mad at you, you have to be mad at somebody else.
This is the worst friendship. I'm telling you, I would never want to be friends with these girls.
No, I don't even remember what I was thinking when I watched it. It didn't come off as harsh as this, but now that
I thought it was harsh.
I mean, but not to the level of like me. I would never even speak to people like this if they treated me like this.
I would straight up be Ariana. I'd be like, goodbye. What's your issue?
I in college like had a girl who was mean, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not really interested in being friends with you, but I can be in the larger friend group. But to this day now, that same girl still sucks. I will not be around her. Like, people literally do separate things because I will not, or I just won't show up to things because I do not even want to be in her presence. I'm not going to deal with it.
I'm very big on, I do not listen to who you tell me. Like, I can't, like, don't tell me what my opinions are.
Or who to be friends with.
Like, if you were to be like, oh, there's this girl, she's not very nice to me, I would still be like, I'm gonna go meet her and see.
I'd be like, I'll hear you out and what you have to say. Yeah. And then I'll vet it against my own experiences. Now, there are things that like I do understand when people are like, you did this to so-and-so, I don't trust you for it. There are like certain offenses.
But I wouldn't openly bully someone because they were mean to you. I would probably just not hang out with them.
I go off my own experiences with people. If somebody is mean to you and you have your own issue, there's two people, like it takes two to tango. And so you have to be somehow involved too. And so like I won't make you guys commingle. I'll do things separately with that person. But
also, I'm not a big fan of group mentality.
No,
especially I'm not big on leaving people out.
Like, I don't need this to be a telephone game. Like Stassi, like throughout this episode, I feel like then goes to all the girls and like telephone games this around to get the group the majority of this to hate on Scheana. And no, if you have an issue, it's a 1-to-1 thing for me.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't even play into it. If Stassi told me, I'd be like, Okay.
I'd be like, you were not involved.
That's the other
this has
thing,
nothing
right?
to do with you.
It's not even just like you're telling me someone about like something about someone and I don't know this person yet. Like we're all in a group. I know Scheana's character at this point. So
Yeah.
Stassi, if I'm in this group and Stassi's like, Scheana's a fucking bitch, I'd be like, okay.
I just don't get why Stassi has to be involved at all. She doesn't work there. She was not there in the conversation. Like, why does her opinion matter?
Because she's Stassi and
It's
Katie's
Stassi.
not. Katie's not cut out to be a leader, man. She's
No.
not. She's not the leader. If Stassi's around, if Stassi's not around, Katie can be the leader. But if Stassi's around, Katie automatically gets put down in number two. She's the Gretchen Wieners
at championing Stassi's feelings.
That's it. I mean, Katie is Gretchen Wieners. She will never be number one.
No.
Okay, so we go to Jax and Brittany's apartment. Jax is failing at putting together furniture. He does consider himself handy, but he really hates it.
I mean, I hate it too, so I don't hate him for this, but I wish he just could shut the fuck up sometimes and just do it.
So Jax has to do Stassi's podcast. He's not excited. Brittany trusts him, but says it's still a little weird. And Jax lets Brittany know that nothing will ever happen with Stassi ever again. Because
I didn't realize that's what she was worried about with this podcast.
I didn't either. I mean, girl, you should be more worried that your boyfriend's fucking exposed.
That he's a shitty person, not that he's gonna fall back in love with Stassi.
Yeah. So he tells her that. And he says his relationship reminds him of the movie Misery, which I'm surprised it doesn't remind you of the movie Drive, because that's what I think about.
Oh my God. I also can't imagine friends staying in the friend group of exes. I don't.
That's horrible. The insecurity I would feel if I was Brittany, just to be like, stop looking at her.
It's just weird. I don't like it. This friend group's really bad at it too.
I don't love it either. Yeah. Okay, so then Scheana's here. Scheana needs a drink though, because so when Shay quit drinking, Scheana quit drinking.
Not originally, by the way. This is new.
Well, Shay didn't originally quit drinking. No. He was only limited.
He was actually told not to quit drinking.
Yeah, because
she couldn't be with someone who couldn't drink.
Yeah, she can't have him be lame. Come on. So Scheana tells them about what happened yesterday and how Stassi texted her, and then Katie sent her a passive aggressive text, which I took a picture of if you'd like to hear it. Yes. I didn't read the full thing, but here we go.
Scheana says it's so Katie never said she was mad when they were working, and so between what it was at 6 p.m. and midnight, somehow Katie gets pissed.
Yes. So I would like everyone to picture your best friend sending you this message after you think literally nothing is wrong. It's all from Katie's. You are clueless about my feelings. That conversation was pointless. I didn't want it to go anywhere. I have zero interest in anything that piece of shit, awful person. If you thought anything needed to be, quote, reiterated, then I think you are forgetting who I am and everything that piece of shit has said and done to me. And again, you had the audacity to blame me for being dismissive. I'm shocked, Scheana. Very disappointed. Stop giving a fuck about what people will say or think. You live in fear of that shit. You are so concerned what people will say and think of you that you are so quick to exploit and throw the people you care about under the bus.
Coming from a reformed, I'm going to call myself reformed rage texter, because I haven't done it in 6 months.
You're that actually was kind of cool.
I, as a rage texter, love to fuel anything I'm upset about into one person, but it slowly builds in the text of why I decided I'm mad at that person. Katie's is harder because it just comes at you randomly. It seems like she's stewing for a while and then will just funnel her rage at someone the minute she has a drop of alcohol.
Yeah, there were a few misspelled words, which is what I tripped over a little bit.
Nobody does this type of shit when they're sober.
The only thing is okay, so Scheana throws the people she cares about under the bus. It sounds like the people that should care about her throw her under the bus.
Yeah, they expect things from her that they don't expect to give her.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But so Sheena's very upset. She's just kind of why didn't Katie say anything at work? She just got drunk with Stassi.
She has to hide behind her phone. I don't think like Stassi or Katie truly is like that upset about this like Lala stuff or this Scheana stuff.
I don't either.
I truly think she's using it as an outlet about how much she is either unhappy in like any facet of her life and is funneling it towards these people.
Yeah, probably. So, okay. And I think Stassi's upset by it. So Katie's like, this is a perfect person to blame.
Yeah.
So then we go to Katie and Tom's apartment. Katie and Tom are on the phone with the wedding planner. Schwartz is still being a dick about money. I don't care about this anymore. Basically everything they spend, he fucking hates, and he can just suck my balls.
Yes, and Katie says like in her interview, it's not like he provides like alternatives to help keep the budget down. He's just mad.
Yeah. So then Stassi and Kristen are here. Katie and Stassi tell Kristen what happened with Lala and Scheana in the conversation. And Kristen's immediately pissed too, because Sheena's basically pulling a Schwartz by not sticking up for the people you love.
Right.
Who's sticking up for Scheana, baby? Come on.
That's the thing is Katie said to leave her out of it, so she doesn't need to stick up for her.
Yes. And she didn't throw Katie under the bus.
No, we're not talking through the problems. We're literally saying, I'm just going to stop talking about this.
Yes.
Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Let's just stop talking about it.
They also say that Scheana chose a side, and they didn't even ask her to.
The best is they say she chose Ariana's side. I'm like, how does Ariana have a side in this?
I don't know.
Because Ariana's side is Lisa's side.
But these girls didn't even ask her to pick a side, Meredith. They said be sideless, and Scheana chose Ariana's side.
This is my least favorite thing that they say. They say that they don't tell her who to be friends with or like what side to pick, but then they're mad when she does something they don't like, so that she's not on their side. I'm like, what happened to no sides?
Yeah, the way Stassi says it exactly is, I'm not here to dictate who people can be friends with, but if someone is willing to sacrifice their best friends just to be liked, then we can't trust her.
Okay, so you aren't telling her who to be friends with.
This is literally not the Salem witch trial. She is not sacrificing you. What?
I'm not telling you to pick a side, but you picked wrong.
And you sacrificed us in the process.
Yeah.
In the process, we're dead now.
Also, Stassi, you were not brought up once in this conversation, so how could she possibly sacrifice you and Kristen?
Truthfully, Katie was barely brought up in this conversation.
Katie was not brought up at all because Katie literally asked to be left out of it.
It's just insane.
It's exhausting.
This whole mean girl thing is exhausting. Then we go to Jax and Brittany's apartment. Scheana says she feels like she can't have an opinion anymore. And Jax is like, you can't. It's always been that way, except when Stassi and Kristen were gone.
I mean, it is true. Like they're in their mean girl trio. No matter what Scheana does, she will be wrong.
She's out. She's not in. She's on the outs.
Yes. And they're going to always put her into situations where she will be on the outs because they need somebody. She is the person uniting Kristen, Stassi, and Katie together.
It's easier to be mad at Scheana than it is Kristen, because the three mean girls have a natural kind of chemistry that they've had for years that Scheana wasn't in. So if they're mad at Kristen, they're not going to like bring in Scheana. That just doesn't work.
Kristen's just there. She's not doing anything.
Yeah. And Kristen's learned to stop fucking our boyfriends and start agreeing with us.
I hate friendships. And I think this is a very, like, when you're younger thing, friendships that are solely based on disliking the same people.
Someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're not actually friends. You're just shit talking the same stuff.
Yeah. So then Jax goes into how he can predict the future with this group, like Muhammad Gandhi.
I hate when Jax pretends he knows things. It really bothers me.
That's the person who can tell the future, right? No, Gandhi cannot predict the future. That wasn't what he did.
Gandhi's like a peacemaker person.
Yeah, he was
nothing to do with the future.
Activist. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. Jax Taylor.
I can't.
And so Scheana is like, oh, now I gotta go to Montauk with these girls. And Brittany's like, no, you can come to NASCAR with us. And Sheena's like, oh, well, whatever. I'm not gonna talk to Katie before the party tomorrow because she can't ruin Chase's surprise party.
Which I understand. Like, I'm not gonna spend my morning on like when I'm already stressed out and need to do this stuff. And I want to be in a good mood for this party.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
I'm talking about this bullshit.
I'm not gonna argue with you. You can bet at this party I'm not arguing with you. So now we go back to Sir. Lisa's here checking up on customers. Ariana tells Lisa that she tried to get the girls together. She thought it went fine, but then Scheana got all these hate texts. And Lisa's like, hey, who the fuck cares? It's all bullshit, period. So then we go to the Rainbow. This is where Jackson and Stassi are doing the podcast. Did she rent out a bar for this?
First, I've actually been to this bar, which is really funny.
Oh my God.
But I thought that the same thing. I remember when this was airing, like I knew that they did this podcast like at a bar, but this is really weird.
As someone who now has a podcast, I would never have us do this at a bar.
I just can't imagine doing something in public, kind of public, like the bartender's there the whole time. What if somebody walked through?
But also, yeah, you can't have anyone hear that sound that gets picked up.
No, we do this separate from life.
Yeah, I can't even have a roommate anymore when I do this.
No, I remember whenever anytime I record at my parents' house, I literally tell them I'm unavailable for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
like, do not come upstairs. Do not talk to me. Nothing.
Yeah. So Jax tells Stassi about what Scheana said when she came over. And she said, or he goes,
oh, this bothers me so much.
Scheana said you guys all think alike.
Which they do.
Which that you guys do. But Stassi's immediately offended and Jax loves being in the drama. So has he changed?
The way Stassi's like, I can't believe she would say that. This is ridiculous.
Should we talk about his Jax change? Does he report? Great.
No, he's just not openly cheating on his girlfriend right now. I don't know if he's cheating on her at all, but like I feel like that's the only thing.
Yeah. So Jax, they're setting up the podcast. He's really into the microphone. We decide to podcast. So we find out 48% of men cheat because of emotional dissatisfaction, which Jax agrees with. He also says men cheat down, so it has nothing to do with looks because he's pulled a lot of hot women.
This does make sense. Like
this does, yeah.
When you even look at like celebrities, people always say that stuff like, oh my God, if like Emrata like gets cheated on, like I'm screwed. In my book, it will never have anything to do with looks.
No, you'll always kind of, I think, cheat down, but
because you'll go for whatever you can easily pick up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're not going to put in that much work.
You're not like, I'm going to cheat with a specific person. You're just like, I'm here to cheat.
Yeah, you're not going to like spend a lot of time and effort to like go after a incredible girl.
Yeah.
You just want an easy fuck.
Yeah. So, he says men want to know they can just still pull women. He also doesn't really care about people's feelings. So Stassi's like, hey, will you take a sociopath quiz? So Meredith, we're also going to kind of take it because I wrote down all the questions.
This made me nervous because I feel like I answered something like it.
So the first one, success is based on survival of the fittest. I am not concerned about the losers.
Agree. I agree.
Jax agrees. I'm not concerned about the loser, but I also don't think success is based on the survival of the
more
fittest.
factors that go into it, but I do think a lot of success is like about hustle, never like just letting it get to you.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up. So yeah, I kind of believe that.
Okay, I find myself in the same types of trouble time after time.
Yes,
Jax agrees.
I do the same shit over and over.
Nah, I'm great.
I know exactly what my path is going to be, especially now that I'm like more self-aware. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm trying to change though, so I'm different.
I disagree. Okay, people who are stupid enough to get ripped off usually deserve it.
I don't believe people deserve it.
I disagree. Jax agrees.
Like I don't want somebody to get like scammed, but like yeah,
I immediately thought of Jen Shaw with the old people.
Makes me sad. Like
they don't deserve that. They don't know. That's the problem.
That's the thing.
In a different time.
Is you're just so dumb.
I think if you walk around with a lot of cash in your hand, waving it around, you deserve to get robbed a little. Well, not deserve, but I'm not gonna be surprised when you get robbed.
You can't be shocked when you lose a bunch of stuff when you're being irresponsible.
Yeah, I still disagree.
I don't think you're asking for it, but I think you played into somebody's hand. Yeah.
Love is overrated. Jax disagrees.
This is where he knows what love is.
I don't either.
I think modern day version of love, like what people claim it is overrated.
I disagree in the sense that I thought of it as like, because I'm not in a loving relationship, I thought of it as like family and friendships. And I was like, those are not overrated.
To me, real love should not have to be like so spoken and like out
Yeah.
there. So that type of love I think is so overrated.
Yeah. Okay, are you aggressive or cool-headed?
I think I'm an aggressive.
Jack says aggressive. I think I'm cool-headed.
You are.
Thank you. Do you fail to learn from experience? Jack says yes.
I don't think I fail to learn
I don't
from
think you
it.
do.
I just don't think I care enough to change on some things.
I don't think your experiences have like bad enough consequences
No,
where you're like,
that's the
oh,
thing. When there is not really a consequence behind it, I just become apathetic.
yeah, but when there's a bad consequence, you won't do that thing again.
Or like I don't want to hurt people, so like
No.
I feel bad in the moment sometimes, but you just get to be selfish sometimes.
Well, Jax is a sociopath. I don't know how we did, but
I'm probably like 60% sociopath.
I'm not. I'm perfect. Okay, but Jax still thinks Brittany will will stay with him.
Oh, 100%, because if she's not going to watch the like 4 seasons of the show where he's been a complete asshole, this quiz and this podcast won't change anything.
Not even going to affect her. Stassi says Jax shouldn't feel bad for being a sociopath because Sandoval's probably a narcissist. Kristen meets the criteria for borderline personality disorder. Ariana has a superiority complex. Katie has anger management issues. Scheana's a hypochondriac, and Stassi's an alcoholic.
I actually love her listing this off because everybody has their shit. So like when you're like in your friend group, you're all friends for a reason. Like you're all doing the same shit. So like, why are we being so judgmental? I mean, Jax is the extreme end of it. And so he like needs to like chill out a little bit. But I agree. Like I hate friends that judge you.
Add me in there with my anxiety and depression. There I am.
I'm just mean.
Chaos.
Like I said when I went to the Taylor Swift concert, I'm in my chaotic era.
You're chaos. I love it. So Stassi is not going to confront Scheana at the birthday party.
Good.
But she better fix it before Montauk.
I don't like this. Come on. And this, why is this on her? If you have a problem, you need to say it. I'm starting to live in the era of you. If you don't tell me you have a problem, there's no problem.
We have had this discussion before where I've said, like, why would I care about your problem if you're not going to tell me about it?
Yes, I'm starting to move into that. Like if you're mad,
I'm big on that.
I'll try to confirm like if I think you're mad because like we've maybe like discussed it, but I don't know if you've moved
on. I know I've done something that could make you mad, but if you're just mad, like at this point I know, right? If I'm Scheana, I know Stassi's mad at me, but I'm not discussing it with you now. So like you can come figure it out with me. Like I can go to Montauk if you have an issue.
And I'm doing that too. Like I need to just stop invisibly like being pissed in the corner. Like I gotta tell people like I don't like when you do XYZ or this is where I need you to show up.
I also just don't care enough. A lot of the time where I'll be like, I forgot I'm mad at you.
I also think I'm doing less things to make people mad, like truly mad.
There you go.
So I am changing.
Look at you. So now we go to Sir. Lisa asks Scheana if she's okay to work. And Scheana says, yeah, but if she talks about it, she's going to get upset. And then she talks about it. Yeah. And then she talks about it. And then Katie walks in and Lisa immediately turns and is like, why is Scheana in tears? And Katie kind of aggressively is like, I don't know. I mean, we haven't even talked about it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And
I understand in front of your boss being like, I just walked into this. Like, why would I know what's going on? But Katie's very like, you know what's going on.
Know.
So, but here's the thing is Katie can't say anything because there is no reason that this should be happening. This is stupid.
This is so dumb. So Lisa tries to get them to have a conversation and Katie's like, I'm not doing that at work, Lisa. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
And Scheana's like, well, I'm not doing it tomorrow at Shay's birthday. And Katie's like, then we're never going to talk, I guess. And Lisa's like, I regret getting involved.
Yep.
So then we go to Shay and Carter's birthday party and Scheana's mom brought everything. And Brittany's here to support Scheana and help out because then Katie, Stassi, and Kristen are here. And all 3 of them are putting together this margarita mini pool. And Stassi's like, oh, does it look bad that the 3 wicked witches are hanging out together?
Yes. You guys buddy up so much and won't go do like different random shit to like help out. You're not here to help out. You're here to be cliquey over in the corner pouring tequila into a tub. Like this is stupid.
Stassi tells them how Scheana cried to Jax about how they're mean, and Stassi's like, we haven't even had the chance to be mean to you yet, which this is what pissed me off the most.
I hate this because you're so not self-aware that like you rage texting both Katie and Stassi have rage texted Scheana. Like, even if she is in the wrong, that's not a great way to go about things.
No.
And I don't like that Stassi is always on the stance of like, oh, I'm right. Whatever I do is right.
Whatever I feel is the correct feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
So everyone starts showing up, including Carter and Shay, who show up with Schwartz. They walk in, stupid. Everyone shouts surprise, but both Shay and Carter aren't confused because they're technically with the other surprise party guy.
And they expected to hear surprise when they walked in.
Yeah, so they're a little confused, but then they get it. Sandoval's basically like, this doesn't count as a surprise party. Sorry, you guys.
I agree.
It was kind of a dud of a surprise. They should have had a banner like happy birthday Shay and Carter.
That's the thing, is it took them a while to like know it was for them.
Yeah, it didn't go great. Okay, but yay for Shay's birthday, even though he's sober.
He also had to buy all that tequila or vodka. That's so mean.
He bought all the vodka and he can't drink any of it.
Not only the fact that he can't drink any of it, but it's his birthday party and you made him go buy all the shit for it. No,
he can't drink any of it. This would never happen for me. Okay, so Jax is licking Brittany's toes, which is literally my whole nightmare.
Gross.
So Jax and Sandoval then tell Schwartz that he needs to shave his chest and put on some bronzer. And then Jax is like, hey, well, I have the two of you here. Can you believe the fucking three witches are back? And Schwartz is like, no, dude, it's the fucking mafia this time.
These boys shitting on the girls.
They're so scared. They know these girls.
They know how bad it is. And this is where you know, like, they're so in the wrong because these guys really see right through their bullshit. They've been around it for so long.
They've been on the other end of it.
Yes, they're like copy paste. Oh, we've seen these tactics before. Here we go again.
Man, I know. So Kristen then pulls Scheana aside, and she's like, "Scheana, why do you have the wrong opinion?" And then she's like,
God.
She says Stassi might not have Scheana at her birthday party anymore. Like Kristen's literally like, I'm threatening taking Montauk away from you.
I can't imagine uninviting somebody for a birthday thing. Like trip's already probably booked. This is so fucking weird.
Kristen's such a bitch. She's just like, it's to the point that she like Stassi's debating not bringing you. So you better fucking apologize.
How dare you try to bully me into apologizing for this shit? Because let's remember the reason I'm quote unquote in the wrong is because I willy-nilly gave out an apology, but you just want a willy-nilly apology too.
That's the thing is they're holding like Montauk now above Scheana. So Sheena's basically like, if Stassi wants me to go, then fine. But if not, like whatever. But Scheana does feel like the future of this friendship is on the trip. And Scheana doesn't want to lose her bridesmaid spot, which immediately I was like, none of you care about this friendship. Just don't go on the trip.
It annoyed me so much when she was like, especially because I don't want to lose the bridesmaid spot. Then you're in this friendship for the wrong reason.
I can tell you immediately as Scheana, if Kristen's like, Stassi doesn't want you on the birthday trip, I'd be like, fine, then I don't have to go.
Yeah, I'd be like, you let me
know. I don't want to go. Why would I want to go?
I don't want to go if this is how you're treating me. Because guess what? This relationship is a two-way street here. You're treating me like shit, so I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, I don't want to go. So now Sheena's crying, and Kristen's like, "Oh my god, can you not cry? Like, what's happening?" And then Kristen's like, "I'm always the mom because all my friends are full of feelings."
When she's like, "Oh, stop crying," I'm like, "You're forcing her to have a conversation about this." When she said she didn't want to do this at the birthday party,
I'm sorry, fuck you,
and basically saying you're about to be uninvited from this trip, and we're actually pushing you out of this friendship group.
Yeah, this was awful. So then Scheana vents to Sandoval and Ariana about how everyone hates her. And both Sandoval and Ariana are like, listen, Scheana, even if you can't go to Montauk, you can't come to NASCAR because we already had to do beds and tickets and we're all out.
I think she did need to hear that because I think at some point in this episode, Scheana did say like, oh, maybe I'll just not go to Montauk and I'll go to Ariana's thing.
Yeah. But
like, can you imagine?
I would honestly say I'd rather just stay home at this point than go to Montauk.
Agreed, but can you imagine if Scheana was like, I'm done with Montauk, I'm going with them, and then they're like, sorry,
rough.
No,
it's basically like, so if shit doesn't work out with you, you can't come with us.
And also, I don't want to be your backup. because you're
No.
fighting with these girls who you put on a pedestal, you're gonna now default to the second choice of your quote unquote actual best friend. No.
Yeah, you're not coming to my birthday.
Missed me with that one.
Also, so then I see these men are turning 30.
Alicia, I literally was like, oh my God, I feel so great about my age right now because these people turned 30 like years ago, and I got a few years still till 30.
And they're a mess.
Yes.
So Schwartz and Shay talk. Schwartz wants to vent about money to someone who actually knows what they're going through, but Shay immediately is like, dude, why are you even asking? So it doesn't go well for him. Then Brittany and Stassi talk about the podcast. Brittany doesn't know what a sociopath is, but Jax is one. And then she reads the definition and she's like, actually, it's not that bad. And I was like, okay.
That definition isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I also don't really think
you're not looking into what a sociopath actually does.
Yeah,
it was just like a sociopath definition. Partakes in antisocial behaviors,
that isn't Jax.
Well, antisocial in the sense that he
doesn't care about other people, how it has actions affect. Yes.
So then Brittany asked Stassi about Scheana and is like, why are you mad? And Stassi's mad because Scheana wants to let it go. And Brittany's like, well,
my God.
She's like, I'm kind of like Scheana and I also like to let it go. And Stassi's like, no, I love that for you, but not for Scheana. Because Scheana has to be loyal.
Not allowed to. You're sweet and like we really love that you're just so generous, but like Scheana sucks. When she does it,
Scheana could do the same thing as you and I would hate her still. So
yes, I don't like that. Like Brittany's allowed to get away with those behaviors.
I don't either. I don't love any of it. Okay, so then Scheana and Stassi talk because Sheena's like, I have to go talk to Stassi's like, I have to go talk to Scheana now. So she walks right up and kicks Sheena's mom out of the way. Goodbye, Erica.
Get out of here. I need to scream at your daughter.
Stassi's like, you need to stand up for something. And Sheena's like, pardon? Immediately.
Stassi is so aggressive in this, but also not making any sense. She's clearly hammered.
I'm going to say it at the beginning. I'm going to say it. Stassi, to me, lost this whole day. Because I could tell you right now, if I was here and if it was my body, my personality in Scheana, I would have destroyed Stassi Schroeder. No question. She was she was way too unhinged. She was way too emotional.
She was at level 10 when she started this conversation.
Easy. I could have destroyed. Like I'm a bitch. I could have destroyed Stassi.
And we always talk about a few like what makes someone like win the argument. Stassi looks crazy. Like socially, people looking at this, it's like, whoa, Stas, chill out. Like we're just at a birthday party.
I fight similarly to Ariana, and we'll get to Ariana, but immediately I could have destroyed Stassi. Ariana did destroy Stassi. Ariana makes one comment and Stassi's like, okay, let's
Stassi will never accept other people winning arguments. That's one thing Stassi has above other people is she like won't. In her mind, she will never let you win. And so it just like she carries herself like that.
Like she wins, but
yes. You
didn't, girl.
She leaves every conversation as if she won.
But that's no, not the pool conversation. She left sobbing into the bathroom floor. You're a fucking loser on that one. Anyway, so Stassi tells Scheana to stand up for something, and Scheana says she's standing up for herself. And Stassi gets super mad right away, starts yelling about how could you let it go? And Sheena's like, you weren't even in the fucking conversation. So she calls Ariana over because Stassi won't listen to Scheana. And so Ariana's like, hey, here's the thing, Stassi. We all work together. And Lisa advised that we all meet. And Stassi's like, you're Lala's friend, though. And Ariana's like, but I'm also Katie's friend.
Yeah.
And Sheena's like, but Lala's terrible to Katie. And Stassi's just mad that Lala said she's going to fuck Schwartz once him and Katie get a divorce.
Okay, Lala has apologized for this stuff.
I was also like, is that the one thing you're mad about? And why is it here?
Why can't, like, I feel like they can't
Katie be mad?
that and why can't we remove again it doesn't have to be black and white. We don't have to hate her or be friends with her. There's this like middle ground of like, let's stop talking shit about each other. I'm not asking you to invite her to this birthday party. I'm asking that when she's literally standing at that stupid hostess stand,
you just say hello or good
you
morning.
stop like calling her a whore.
Yeah. So Scheana kind of says that because she's like, I never said Lala didn't say horrible things. And Stassi's like, why are you asking Katie to be friends with Lala then? And both Scheana and Ariana are like, that's literally not what happened.
What is happening at all.
So Stassi keeps yelling and Ariana starts laughing because this is so stupid.
It's
and
ridiculous.
She finds Stassi annoying. So she's just like, I hate it here.
Well, I think Ariana realizes Stassi actually has no idea what the original conversation was. Like, we've gotten so far away from the point and what actually happened that this is pure nonsense. Like, she's not, like, Ariana's not going to get anywhere with Stassi. Stassi just wants to scream right now. She basically wants to rage text in verbal assault format in person.
Which Ariana shuts her down pretty fast because she's like, hey, Stassi, you're not actually letting us talk. You're just like yelling at us. And Stassi's like, fine, I'll be quiet. And Ariana's like, great, because that's how a normal conversation happens. And now Stassi's mad at Ariana for being condescending.
For shading her.
But truthfully, I have pulled this exact move before where someone's yelling at me and I've been like, if you actually like want to hear what I have to say, I'll say it or I'm going to walk away. And someone's like, fine, I'll be quiet. And I'll be like, great. Thank you so much for actually having a conversation instead of just screaming your face off. And then I've gone on and people have been like, I don't know what to do.
You deserve, people sometimes deserve condescending comments.
I say it all the time.
Because guess what, Stassi, you think you're higher and mighty while you're sitting over there. So because Ariana does kind of too, now you're mad. You treat her the exact same way.
That's the thing. You think Ariana has a superiority complex. So do you. So the two of you she's not going to let you get away with it.
You're just mad because she's above you right now with those comments. And
she's keeping her cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ariana's basically like, I hate having this conversation because Stassi's crazy emotional. And Stassi, because Ariana says, you're being very emotional right now. And Stassi's like, you know what? Whenever. And so she leaves. And Ariana starts laughing. She's like, okay, bye.
You can't talk to crazy.
No. And now Stassi's crying in the bathroom. And Katie finds Stassi there sobbing with Rachel.
This pisses me off so much because, again, we've lost the plot where apparently we're mad because Katie's mad. Katie's not mad, but she has to be mad because Stassi's losing
Stassi
it
just wants to bat for her. Yeah. About nothing. So Stassi's just like, they suck. I'm trying to defend you and they just suck. Ariana and Scheana suck. And Rachel's like, yeah, they do. And I was like, Rachel, get out of here.
Shut up. You have no involvement in this. You probably don't even know that this conversation at SUR happened a few
Get her out of here. So then Katie's like, hey, I'm not even mad, but can we leave the bathroom floor? So she brings Stassi out and Scheana has come in to try and find them. And she's like, hey, can we talk? And Stassi's like, yeah, but because you brought your friend last time, I have all my friends now. And I was like, that's not what happened.
That pisses me off because Stassi was so mad that Ariana got into this conversation when like, it was good to bring a point of view of someone who was actually in the conversation. But now when Stassi brings friends, it's no problem. Like, come on. She's so hypocritical at every step of this argument.
Stassi, you dumb fucking bitch. You lost this argument again because now you're bringing people in to fight for you.
Yeah.
Against Scheana of all people. Come on. If it was Ariana, I get it. You want Katie and Rachel to stay because she can rip you to shreds. Scheana, you're like, I need backup. Oh my God. Come on. Immediate L. So Katie's like, we're trying to talk to Stassi. Or wait, what did she say? Katie tries to talk, but Stassi immediately is like, how dare you say we have one mind. We all don't have the same opinion, as they all agree they do not have the same opinion.
But they all have the same opinion. Like I
no, Meredith, Scheana. You can't say that. I appreciate
Scheana being like, let me correct what I said. I didn't say you share one mind. I'm just saying you guys are on the same side. You have the same opinions about what's going on here. And it's hard to fight with you. And they lose it.
We just agreed on the opinion that we don't have the same opinions. How dare you say this?
Told me that our collective opinion is that we don't have the same opinion.
God, you missed the memo. So Scheana's like, listen, I'm just done gossiping about Lala and everyone's yelling at me and it's not my fault. And Scheana's like, I just don't care. like, I just want my own health at work, basically. I just want to live. And Katie's like, Scheana, you think you're being the bigger person by moving on, but actually you're not.
And so God forbid, she just wants to have like peaceful work environment.
You
shoot her for it.
You think that's what the bigger person is, but actually you're fucking wrong. And then Scheana tells Katie, like, you're acting like Tequila Katie. And Stassi's like, oh my fucking God.
How dare you?
You just basically called her a murderer. How dare you? That's as bad as Charles Manson calling her Charles Manson. Why can't I point
out when you are being difficult? Like, I should, as a friend, be able to give you some like feedback like that. That when you get drunk, you are the meanest person ever to me.
Meredith, we've agreed that we don't say that.
No,
even if it's correct.
It's insane because we're allowed to shit on all these other people and say critical things of all these other people, but the minute anybody does it to us, we lose it.
We agreed on that. It's been an agreement, Meredith. Get it together.
It's because that means that you picked sides and not ours. Like if you don't blow smoke up my ass, then you're not on my side.
We didn't ask you to pick sides, you just did, and we're not dictating your friends, but
I will be mad at you when you pick the wrong side. But I'm not asking you.
Our opinion was we agreed on that.
But we all don't agree on that while we all are on the same page that we don't like you for not picking our side when we didn't ask you to pick a side.
We do. Thank you for picking our side. I'm so confused. So Scheana says that she just wants Katie to be happy. And Katie, in a very unhappy manner, says, when have I been unhappy?
This entire season, actually.
And then she says she's only unhappy because of Sheena's fucking mouth.
Oh, so it's Scheana is the problem now, not Lala saying bad things about you and Scheana supporting her. It's just Scheana now.
Yes, because Scheana did not pick a side, even though we did not ask her to. And we're mad that she did pick a side. Her fucking mouth did this because she said she's sorry for only the false stuff. Did you follow?
I can't understand any of these people, what they want, their hopes and desires.
They're so drunk.
Yes.
These women are so drunk. So Scheana knows that Schwartz is also dealing with Katie's unhinged behavior. So she knows she's right, but she can't win this argument. But Katie says Scheana can't accept that she fucked up and she's trying to make Katie look bad. And Katie can read Scheana like a fucking book. And Sheena's basically like, then why are you friends with me? And she walks away. And I was very proud of Scheana for walking away without crying. Although, again, if I was Scheana in this moment, I could have ripped these three bitches to shreds. No problem. They were so unhinged.
They cannot form a coherent thought about this.
Been laughing. I would have been like, you guys are fucking insane.
This is the easiest win. But again, the minute Scheana fights back, they're going to just
that's the thing.
The next time, destroy her.
Scheana cares. Scheana cares, right? I would immediately cut ties with these bitches, and so I wouldn't care if they're mad at me, which would make them mad.
Yes,
I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. You hate me,
but they're gonna be mad at her regardless, and that's what Scheana does not get long term. Like she's not in a good situation. This will never get better.
No, oh my poor girl. Anyway, so next time. Scheana doesn't know what to do about the trip, and Shay calls them bullies, which they are. And I think you should just stay home with your husband.
I agree.
Stassi, like Scheana, needs to decide, or Stassi needs Scheana to decide whether she's going to come on the trip or not. Jax gets more plastic surgery. Lala's excited to have fun on Ariana's birthday, and James misses working for Lisa, which we didn't get any James this episode.
We didn't. You're right.
Okay, accepted and blocked.
I'm ready to block. I'm blocking. Okay. I'm blocking Stassi. I can't.
Fuck these mean girls.
We give it to her. She typically is so good at arguments, but like, no,
lost here.
Immediately lost in every aspect of it, and I just don't like when she was even texting Scheana when she was like, I think sitting at Sir or whatever, and she was like, I need to text in all caps because I'm just so mad. I'm like, shut up.
What a weirdo.
Shut up.
Immediately I would destroy her. This is the most confident I've ever felt against Stassi. I think I could sometimes take Stassi on. This is
this 100, is an easy
100 layup
dunk on her. Yeah.
I'm gonna block Katie because I think Katie A, unhinged, B, she was in that conversation. She told Scheana, leave me out of it. She didn't want Scheana to leave her out of it, told Stassi her own story.
Yeah.
Then wasn't even mad,
Katie's
but
the
got
problem
mad.
with the telephone game.
Like, again, I would have destroyed Katie in a second and been like, go back to your husband whose dick doesn't work since you said that yourself, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. But it just, I don't like the mean girls. I don't like them. I'm not
No.
part of them. I would destroy
It's
them
not
easily.
interesting. Like I can
No.
always understand when like things happen that probably wouldn't happen in normal life, but you do it for the reality TV show. This is giving nothing.
Yeah, it just it doesn't hit right.
No, it's not fun. It's not interesting. This is a stupid fight we can't follow. No. Cut it
Yeah,
out.
not into it. Who are you accepting?
Um,
I know this one's hard.
I'm gonna accept Lala. I think she handled that conversation well.
That's a
She's
good
not
one.
like adding to the problem. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for her, like future wise, going to Ariana's birthday. I think that's a huge step for her. That like next episode, I'm ready to ride on the Lala train.
That's a good one. I think I'm gonna accept Ariana because she did try
Yeah.
to bring the girls together, which I appreciated. And I like her playing the middle. And I know Ariana, I have a lot of friends for some reason that at this point don't love Ariana. And I just don't understand it because I don't know why they're friends with me because I think I am Ariana. Because basically everything she did in this episode, I would have done.
But I also think that when people watch it, they want to be on the
It
cool girl side, and Ariana's not that because Ariana doesn't care if they're mad at her. She's the
That's the
opposite
thing.
of Scheana.
It doesn't translate well on reality TV, I'm sure, but this is me.
Like,
If you ever want to see, to this day, I have friends from like grade school who are like, I've never seen you mad. And it's like, because you won't, because this is how I'll play it.
yeah.
I'll
I
make
think
you look
Ariana, it
so
reads like
dumb.
she's apathetic because she kind of is. So it's like you don't want to root for someone who doesn't care.
That's
If
the
that makes
thing.
sense.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like,
Yeah.
you could be mad,
No,
and I don't really
I
care.
think Ariana does the best because if
I love it.
they're gonna be mad at her for like trying to negotiate this, it will not change Ariana's day, her week, her year.
Yeah.
She
If
just
I
keep
was
rolling.
if I was blonde and hot, I would be exactly Ariana.
But I also think it's nice when she is like dating someone who's so cemented in this group that like her status in this group isn't gonna change. Like
Yeah,
Scheana doesn't
that's the
have that
thing.
with Shay.
Yeah. Yeah, she could be kicked out, but Ariana is always going to show up to the party,
Yeah, like
whether you
she will
like it or
always know
not.
what's going
I
on.
love that idea that even if Stassi's like, I want to kill Ariana, she's coming to the party.
Yeah,
This bitch
100%.
is coming to the
He's not
wedding.
gonna let her get her
She's
down.
in Schwartz's groomsmen. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious because Katie was like, I don't want her. And it was like,
Yes.
well, here I am, bitch. I love it.
And it's not like she begs or like asks for these things. It just naturally unfolds for
I
her.
know she naturally kind of wins. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we do all the things. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Vanderpast,
Not
or not
Twitter,
Twitter,
TikTok,
TikTok,
Instagram, Patreon it
Instagram,
up.
and Patreon. All of
Yeah.
it at Vanderpasta.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yay, thank
joining.
you.
Bye.